In my sound baths, I try to give about 2 to 3 minutes of no sound once the sound bath is done. So people can just iterate. And I'm just like, oh, this is where the juiciness happens. You're letting those vibrations settle into the body. You're listening and just trying to come back of like, whoa, what just happened? And, that is like almost mental journaling. So when you're still in those moments of like a sound bath, that's when so much comes up for you. And we have a hard time wanting to be still and listen. But, that's where all the magic happens, even if it's a little uncomfy. My value and my love and passion for community, it really has changed my life in a lot of ways. And I did not have that in the Bay Area. I didn't even know what community meant until here.
Which is so funny because like you find community in an environment that has a reputation of the Seattle phrase.
I'm so excited to share with you a true gem of a human being, Tasha Hampton. Tasha is a Seattle-based wellness practitioner renowned for her expertise in sound meditation experiences with a rich background in breathwork, meditation, sound healing, Reiki, and yoga. Tasha has led over 100 wellness group experiences across Seattle and the San Francisco Bay Area. Her collaborations with esteemed brands like the Gates Foundation, Vuori, Lululemon, and Parachute Home, as well as local Seattle favorites, highlight her dedication to creating immersive and restorative experiences. Today, we'll delve into Tasha's world of healing as we discuss the art and science of sound meditation, explore the impact of sound healing on mental and physical health, and hear about Tasha's journey into wellness. We'll also touch base on her experiences building community in the wellness industry, the importance of creating inclusive and restorative spaces, and share practical tips for incorporating sound meditation in your daily life for enhanced well-being.
I'm really excited to have you on here. And just as so we can start this off, I just participated in your sound bath for the equinox, the spring equinox. And it was such a beautiful experience. And I really love how you layered all the elements and the sound textures. And if you are in the Seattle area, I highly recommend that you check out Tasha and her sound bath experiences.
For those who don't know me, my name is Tasha. I am a sound meditation practitioner in the Seattle-based area. I originally am from the Bay Area myself. And did I say the Seattle-based area or the Bay Area?
You said Bay Area.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Yeah.
I live here in the Seattle area, but I'm I'm from the Bay Area itself. Yeah, I was in the tech world for over 10 years, and throughout my journey in tech, needed a space where I could come and focus back on myself, especially being a tech leader. And so I got my journey started in yoga teacher training and in the world of yoga, and then evolved into meditation and breathwork and sound, and found my calling in sound journey experiences. And it's just been lovely. And so I've been hosting sound experiences for almost 6 years now. I've been all over Seattle and meeting wonderful people like you. And
You're about to go to Portugal with
I'm about to,
which is amazing.
Yeah, I have so many exciting things in the pipeline. So I've just been taking everything day by day. And honestly, people have to remind me that I'm going on my first retreat. So next week, I'll be joining Kapwa House, which is led by Isa, who's an amazing Seattle-based yoga teacher here. And I'll be guest teaching and sharing my sound experiences internationally now. And I'm really excited.
No, we were talking about when I saw you at the last sound bath we did was, I don't think people really even think about this. I know I never thought about it when I started doing sound baths, is how hard it is to transport them. Did you find out? Did you find a way to a safe way to transport them?
Yeah, our safe way to transport them while traveling internationally, or just going from to a venue?
Internationally. It's like the flying thing that's like...
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just had coffee with Isa, who I was just talking about, and she's like, how are you going to do this? I think we're all wondering, how are you going to be transporting all your instruments? And so I'm very happy to have invested in some bowls, some alchemy bowls that will be nesting within each other into one case, and then stuffing a few chimes in there if I can fit, and then a couple of things in my check-in bag. And I'll just be rolling with a more petite setting. So I'm very excited.
And for those who don't know, there is several different variations of the bowls. Because you have both the quartz, but at the spring equinox, you mainly had the alchemy bowls. Do you want to talk more about those, about what differentiates them?
Absolutely. So for the frosted quartz bowls. They're a lot more thicker, a lot more sturdier. They're a wonderful beginner set. So if you're just dabbling into sound healing, or you just want like a bowl, but you don't want to do the big investment, because alchemy bowls and honestly all sound meditation instruments, they do add up and they're quite pricey. You know, I have a collection of over $20,000 worth of instruments. I did not get those all at one time. But yeah, I did not get those all at one time. But when I was first starting off as a sound meditation practitioner, I was like, okay, I think I want to start doing this. My previous partner had gifted me one frosted quartz bowl. I'm not sure where he got it from, but it might have been like a couple $100s. And then I was like, oh my God, I really love playing this one bowl. I should invest in a whole set. And so the whole set was probably a little under $1,000. Started doing a couple of my, beginner clients with those. And then, a few years down the road, I started getting more and more instruments, and I knew I wanted to travel with my bowls, but those bowls in particular are a lot more heavier. They carry sound well, but they are heavy, especially if you have a set. And so then there's another set, which is like the crystal alchemy bowls, which are different crystals infused into a really delicate, beautiful, vibrant bowl. And so you can have bowls, like I have ones that have amethyst and quartz and sapphire, and I have a new one that has a little bit of matcha in it, which is really cool.
I've never heard of that.
Yes. If you are in the Seattle area, I definitely recommend everyone visit the Seattle Sound Temple. Not only do they sell all the bowls, all the alchemy bowls, but you can also do a sound bath there. So they have gatherings on, I believe, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they play a lot of the bowls at one given time. But yeah, I can go on and on about how beautiful all bowls are.
Yeah, well, and I know too, it's like, because it's like everyone has like these different, I'm very new into the sound world because I just got my training last year.
Yeah.
But I'm love hearing the stories of what draws you to the alchemy bowls, because the alchemy bowls, one, they have a different presence to them. And then also too with the minerals, like some are sourced in Arizona or whatever it is, or like the crystals represent different things and have different healing properties. Exactly. Do you consciously select what crystal based on what those properties represent, or do you go by sound and how that bowl resonates with you? Like, how do you go about selecting your bowls to add to your little sound bath family?
I love that. Yeah, my baby family.
Yeah.
I go off of sound and note. And, when I was first getting into selecting alchemy bowls, I think at first, a lot of, at least for a naive practitioner at the time, I was looking online and I was just like, oh my God, that would be pretty together. That'd be pretty together. But I think that what's most important is, do they all sound beautiful together? Do they all blend together when you're playing? And so, at least for me, I pick what's based on the note and how well they blend in with the rest of the bowl family. Because I do have one alchemy bowl that does not blend right now with the rest of the family. So I actually don't use that one. But, the last time I went to get them bridged together, the woman, her name is Karen from the Seattle Sound Temple. She was like, whenever you're ready to get another bowl, your next bowl, we will make sure that this bowl is noted so we can bridge that other off-sounding bowl with the rest of your bowls. Because right now it's too often you need one more note to bridge it together. And so what's really great is not only do they tune your new bowls with your other bowls, but they'll bring out different options with different notes that will blend well. So the first priority is making sure that it's a good note that will marry with the rest of the current notes that you have. And then getting some other options to see, do I like this color? And, does it blend well aesthetically? So it goes from sound to aesthetics. Yeah. And it's okay to walk away if they don't have it's okay to walk away too if they don't have the color or like the vibe that you're going for.
Yeah.
Or even if they don't have the notes. Yeah.
Have you ever had like a bowl that the color just didn't resonate with you, but you're just like, oh my God, but it's stirring something within me. I need to have this bowl.
Yes. Actually,
you're like, girl, don't even get me started.
It's actually the bowl that isn't fitting well right now. So when I bought my first two alchemy bowls, they blended well together, just them two, with the frosted quartz bowls. But now that I've grown out the rest of the alchemy set, now it's kind of standing alone on its own. This particular bowl is a broken bowl that was melted back together, and it was sold like that.
Oh, that's cool.
It has some history. I don't know what the history was, but you can see the next time I see you in person, and if I bring this bowl, I will show you. You can tell if you look closely, and it's the orca. I call it the Orcas bowl, and I think that's what it was called as well, because of the color and the texture of the bowl too. And something that's very quirky about me that I actually was just telling another yoga teacher last night is my spirit animal is an orca.
I love orcas so much. Yeah.
Me too. Last night I was taking a yoga class from this wonderful yoga teacher, and it ended up almost becoming like a private. And so I was like, oh, it's meant to be. And so she loves bees. And I had told her, I was like, I'm in love with orcas. And she's like, tell me about orcas. And I think we spent about 15 minutes talking about orcas.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so going back to the bowl, I was like, I got to take that bowl home. I think that bowl is for me. And I will find a way to make sure that it blends in with the rest. So that is my next purchase next to a gong is to make sure that finds its way. Yeah.
We were talking about the gongs. Yes. I know. That's like on my list. I think about it often. Like, I really would love a gong.
Me too. Me too.
I was thinking like with your bowl, it's kind of like the wabi-sabi bowl.
Yeah.
Because how they say like the imperfections with wabi-sabi and things like that. But
exactly.
Like, watch when you find that bridge to get that bowl involved, it's just going to, I don't know if like energetically it also feels different. I have this one bowl and I don't know why I thought this is a good idea and people are going to think I'm quite strange. But my friend and I she was wanting to connect with a friend that passed at the cemetery. So she's just there and she's like, you should bring one of your sound bowls. So I brought this tiny little sound bowl and I was playing it and it has never been the same. It is a very, like, you can actually just, it has a presence to it when I play it now. And it just, people get really emotional sometimes with that bowl. And I'm like, I don't know what I did, but I almost like inherited like little guides or something to it. But I noticed like it just feels so, for those who are sensitive, some people are going to think I'm absolutely not saying this, but it just feels so different. And it's really obvious. Yeah.
Each one carries its own personality. And especially when you're playing them and they're singing, you can feel like sometimes I talk to them and I'm like, okay, you can stop now. Or like, okay, like, got it. Like go a little fast.
Yeah. Well, they all have their own energy and presence, right? It's like they even say like everything has energy to it. So
exactly. And especially with all the minerals and the crystals that are infused into that, you just think about so much energy that is present, especially when you're playing them. And that energy is being carried through vibrations in the room and within people. It's so magical. That's why they say sound is medicine.
Yeah. So what initially you got into you were in yoga, clearly got exposed to sound baths through that.
Yes.
What was like the moment you're like, besides like the one bowl that a friend gifted you, but when did you know, like, I need to do this more. I want to really focus on sound bowls.
Yeah. So there's two pivotal moments, and I've talked about this with other people before. And the first one was, after yoga teacher training, I think I got to the end of that training and I was like, I think I'm just meant to be a student. One of the biggest feedbacks that I got was my voice was not loud enough. It was too soft, too quiet. And I was like, okay, interesting. And so about a year or two later, while I was still back in the Bay Area, there's a sound meditation group called Sound Meditation Presents, I believe. And they host beautiful sound experiences all throughout the Bay Area. I think they're starting to make their way to Seattle and LA and Oregon.
Oh, cool.
They're actually going to be here while I'm gone at the end of next month. So after this call, I can send you their information.
Is this the one in that beautiful church that I was seeing, or like?
Yes.
I saw that and I want to go. And I was just like, and I have to work. And I'm like,
no, I gotta work.
I know. I was like, I might need to sub. I sub for everybody. Yes. It's like time to fill in.
They are spectacular. So when I was back in the Bay Area, I went to one of their dates at the Grace Cathedral. It's a really beautiful church, very similar to the one that we were just talking about in San Francisco. I think they can fit in about 300 to 400 people. It's that huge.
Wow.
And there's so many practitioners playing all these different instruments collectively together. It is quite magical. But I remember waking up at the end of that sound bath and I was like, I think that's what I want to do. I want to put people to sleep and I want to help people rest, and I want to play beautiful melodies together. I am very introverted, and I don't like public speaking, and so I think that's probably why I never really gravitated towards teaching yoga. But I really do like helping people recenter and concentrating on themselves in this really beautiful place.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I didn't have any instruments at that time, but I was like, oh, maybe I'll start off with guided meditations. So after that, probably like a few weeks later, I was at my tech job. I was working on a computer, and the CEO of my company at the time, we've talked about manifestation before, and he's very spiritual as well, but he comes over to my desk and taps me on the shoulder, and he's like, would you like to walk around the office with me? And in my head, I was like, oh my God, I'm getting fired today. I'm getting fired today because I think I wasn't even a tech leader at the time. I was just an individual contributor, wasn't reporting to him. We just saw each other at lunch. So I was just like, what do you want to talk to me about?
Yeah.
So we're walking around the office, and he's like, I saw that you just got done with yoga teacher training. Congratulations. How was that? And I was like, it was great. In my head, I'm like, why are we
What do you want?
Yeah. And so we're talking, and then he gets to, the end, and he is just like, I would really love, we're doing an exec outing in Palo Alto, and I would really love if you can host a meditation for all the exec team. And I was like, and I'm not going to say no to my CEO. So I was like,
yeah,
absolutely. I was like, absolutely. But at that time, I didn't have like a very solid meditation practice. And so I was pretty nervous. I studied on how to give meditation for a few weeks at a time. And by the time we get to the meditation, I was at this really beautiful hotel in Palo Alto, and all the entire exec team had the staff of the hotel bring them blankets and all this stuff just to get them comfortable for this session. It was only a guided meditation, no instruments at all. But halfway through, my CEO fell asleep, and a few other people fell asleep, and it was a beautiful session. So 2 days later, one of the principal engineers had came over, who was part of that experience, and they're just like, you did such an amazing job. The CEO, he has not been able to sleep for the last 3 months. That was his first time being able to go to sleep. And so I was just like, oh, maybe I do have a gift in helping people calm and relax. And I think that's when I started to get a little bit more curious about guided meditations and sound baths and how far can I take that. And so, yeah.
It's such an overlooked necessity, I think, in many ways.
Yeah.
If people don't really realize like just how powerful stillness can be, or just how much can be revealed through stillness. Exactly.
Yeah. And also like life is just, it's so hectic for day to day, and just even coming back to your breath, like, especially like, when was the last time you took a full deep breath in for the day?
Yeah.
A lot of us hold our breaths, which is, which is crazy, but it's something that we just don't notice because we don't take the time sometimes to be still.
Yeah.
And to recenter.
It's like just so much overstimulus that's going on. It's like they say this, like to calm the monkey brain or quiet the monkey brain and all the things.
Quiet the monkey. Yes, exactly.
So there's so many people too, like that don't realize that, yes, sound bowls have like these beautiful spiritual qualities and properties to them. And it's just, but there's also such a science, and like there's the science behind sound meditations and sound practices have been constantly evolving. And I think that what's been so interesting, and you forget that our body is primarily made up of water.
Yes.
And that sound resonance actually has an impact on all. So you want to go more into that?
Yeah, I'll go a little bit into it. I've had people, a lot of guests who have attended my sound baths, they have told me so many things that have come up for them. And then I have a couple of people who have never done a sound bath, and they're just like, that is very woo. That is very woo-woo. But it is very specific, when you really think about the concept of sound, vibration, and what our body is made up of, which is, I forgot what the percentage is for water. Is it 90%, 70%?
It's high.
It's pretty high. Yeah,
it's really high.
I just don't want to have I don't want to put out the.
I thought it was like 80 or something like that, but I know it's up there. Yeah,
it's pretty high. So especially when you're thinking about like vibration of all of the instruments, thinking about how that moves in the room and then moves and permeates through the body and allows, your energy within yourself to just flow a little bit better. I actually had a recent guest who, or maybe a private client rather, because it was a private sound bath for a group of friends, but I had up with her maybe a few weeks after the private sound bath, and she had let me know that she had been experiencing severe, it wasn't constipation, but just a lot of gut issues, and it's been going on for quite some time. And that was her first sound bath that she had ever did, and so she had let me know, and I won't go too TMI, but
we got it. Yeah.
Yeah, but she just was like, I feel like my gut reset, and I haven't had any gut issues after that.
Yeah.
And she was like, have you ever had someone say that some of their health, concerns have resolved? And I was like, yeah, actually. But I haven't heard about like the gut, or maybe someone hasn't just told me about, the gut. But I have had people tell me that like pain has been, softened a little bit, like maybe in their shoulder or in their hip, or tension that was held from trauma was starting to open up just a little bit. And even, tapping into, so I also do Reiki as well, but even tapping into Reiki, also been able to feel that on the other end, because I'm not using my bowls, I'm using my hands to help guide that energy. So energy work is really spectacular in a lot of ways. Yeah.
I know, and I'm still learning about this personally, but about how the different notes of each bowl has different effects on stimulating like the liver, the gut, all of those things about the frequencies. And what I found fascinating is with the desert, when I was living in Palm Desert, I mean, there's sound baths everywhere and every experience is a little different.
Yeah.
But I have a friend, her name is Leslie, and she does such beautiful sound baths. And I remember when I took her sound bath, because I felt like I could feel my tissue start to move. And I wasn't really, you kind of wonder, it's like, is this just something that I'm thinking about? Because I didn't fully understand all of the science behind sound bowls at the time. And I didn't even put two and two together. Like, oh yeah, of course, we're made of water and frequencies and all of that stuff has an impact, but I could actually feel like things start to release or move or shift. And then you think of it too about the fascial membrane, which is fluid. And so like when that fascia gets so stuck and it gets so tight and you have that resonance of the bowls, it's also unwinding tense fascia tissue. And people forget like also fascia affects your heart, your whole nervous system, everything. So sometimes lying down is productive.
Yeah. And I think I did this when you were at the spring equinox, but I usually do this for all of my sound baths. Part of the preparation talk that I give before a sound journey begins, which is if you're starting to feel any tension in any parts of the body, breathe through it, which is why I take everyone through a very gentle breath work or guided meditation, just to create that relationship with the breath and remember that your breath is there to help you if something is coming up. I had one person where she was like, I felt like my head was like really, because she had been experiencing migraines quite some time. And so and she wasn't close to the bowls, which was good. But I think she was feeling parts of like her head that were having some tensity start to like soften and open up, but she was so in tuned with those feelings, and she was using deep breaths to kind of help guide her in. And after a handful of deep breaths, she said her migraines started to go away and she wasn't having them as much as before, which was great. So just using the breath and the vibration was a really powerful combination.
It's kind of profound, it's just like something so simple as sound or something, but it's just so, I kind of wonder too, like when you think about history, about how many different cultures like incorporated different sound practices or music practices, and they already knew about the healing properties of it, and just how it's just so innate with us, like we're part of the frequency,
Yeah, exactly. You had mentioned that you're starting to dabble into sound baths. Where are you at in your journey?
I've done a couple, so I only started last year.
Okay.
So that's why I'm just like, we were talking about this for people listening. We were talking about collaborating because I'm more of a collaborative human. I realize I'm not a sole like and a solo person all the time. Yeah, I like to be involved with people and just kind of share that the synchronicities. But also I think with music, you know, I love when the resonance of just the energy that people put behind what they're doing. I think that is so powerful. And I love how it feels like it lifts the room and is how energy transfers. Yeah. And I just find that so magical. And so I'm still like looking to, well, we were talking about doing different things, but I've only done like 5 sound baths. That's it, if that.
Yeah. So it's funny because as a sound practitioner, you know of other practitioners, but I think this year it's been a little bit more of my mission to create deeper relationships with other sound practitioners. I was at a foundation sound bath training last year because I just wanted, when I did my training, my original training, it was during COVID, and so everything was online. And so I was just like, if I can just kind of refresh some things and also have it be in person, that would be great. And so I went down to LA to do my training with Avery Whitmore. He's wonderful. He also has like a sound healing studio where he also sells all of his bowls, and they just opened up a gong room. So if you're interested in purchasing a gong or getting a gong bath, you can do that down there. But I got to really experience the magical feeling of playing with other sound practitioners. And so everyone who went down for the training, we all played together on both days, and it was really amazing. I've only played by myself for these last several years, and so it elevates so much more, and it's so much more fun when you're in tune with other people. You're like, okay, I'm going to ring this chime and I'm going to play this bowl, and we're going to listen to each other and just be really in tune and aligned with what we're doing, and just be in sync. And it's great. So anyways, I can go on and on about.
Well, it's kind of like a flow state.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very meditative. And I don't know if you've gotten this. Sometimes I'm just very sensitive. And like one thing I've noticed within myself when I play, I just feel like I'm being sucked into the bowl. It's like that high feeling. And I just have to kind of watch myself like, whoa, come back to earth, because you are somewhere out in the ether. So I don't know. I remember I used to work with this, my mentor, this is with body work. And this is before I call it, woo-woo curious or spiritually curious. And she picked up immediately that I'm like sensitive to like energy, just like working with different fascial work stuff. And she's like, oh, Missoni, you're an empath. Like you need crystals. I was like, rocks? I need rocks? She's like, no. You need crystals. It's going to help ground you. I was like, rocks? You want me to carry rocks with me while I'm teaching? And then when I started doing the fascial work and I'm just, I could feel everything. I'm like, getting some rocks. And now I'm into the rocks.
You feel the energy from, the different crystals. What crystals do you have so far? And what crystals would you love to get?
I have a ton. I have some behind me. I have that smoky quartz. I have a ton. I'm a bit of a forager. Like every time I travel somewhere, I make it a point to go to a local apothecary or some kind of crystal shop, and I just walk through and see if something resonates with me. Sometimes I'll pick something up and it won't let me put it down. I'll be like, okay, I guess you're coming home with me. But I will even like collect rocks hiking or just like different things. And I'm very nature spiritual, and I always thank the land for sharing with me. But it's so funny because like even in my studio in the desert, Palm Desert, I was hiking and I was on the phone with my friend. I'm like, oh my God, there's this beautiful boulder. It's going to look great in the studio. I think it's just going to give this great grounding energy. It just has this like great presence to it. She's like, Missoni, don't do that. Just don't go pick up that rock. And so I'm like, just hold on. And so I carry this massive boulder. I put it in my car. And I take it to the studio. And someone who is a little bit more intelligent than I would clearly think, there's a boulder. We should probably get a dolly and put it in an elevator. No, I was like, I'll just carry this up the stairs.
Wait, how big was this boulder? That sounds huge.
It's massive. It's massive. Like I was questioning my life. Oh, well, yeah. I was questioning my life choices as I was carrying it up. There was like a restaurant nearby, and I just see these people looking over like, what is that girl doing? Like, what is wrong with her? Yeah. But it did create this grounding energy, and I think that's the thing is like, it's innate in us. Like we are, even like with teaching, I don't know if you feel this like with yoga, like working with different props. I love unlacquered wood props or things like that because our body, it's just like, I think innately our bodies really long to return back to nature to feel that organic connection, especially because we're so disconnected from it these days with just so much technology. And what I love about the bowls is because inherently it's all made of minerals. It's all like, especially those alchemy bowls. There is a resonance from the earth, and some of them are tuned to, I think the 432 hertz? That's actually the same hertz as the earth resonance. Is that correct? Or am I getting that wrong?
I believe so. I can even double check just to make sure.
Yeah. But I just find that fascinating.
Yeah. I don't know if I can do this on here to check.
Never know.
Benefits.
This is what the internet's for us to do our Google checks.
Yeah, it's for more balanced, clear, and harmonious sound. So I'm going to guess that, yes, it's a lot more
earth frequency.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like when you start to go on that path of something that feels in alignment with you, that it just like, like, yes, this is like, and we've had personal conversations about this, about like soul call kind of thing.
Yes.
What has it revealed within you, like that you didn't know about yourself going down this journey?
That's such a great question. I feel like so much has come up because I've gone on such a journey with this offering in particular in the last several years. I mean, there was times where I was actually going to sell all my bowls and all of my instruments. Yeah, 2.5 years ago. I actually just told this story earlier this morning to someone. When I moved out to Seattle, I was just starting, I guess, my business, my offerings, my freelance. And I didn't really know anyone in Seattle. I also didn't know, I didn't even have like a studio that I was even going to at that time. And I had a really hard time booking sound baths. First of all, not a lot of people at the time knew what sound baths were. And then also with the Seattle freeze. If you don't believe in the Seattle freeze, it is real if you're a transplant. And I think I struggled for about 2 years expanding my sound experiences within the area. And it got to a point where I was like, I don't think maybe I'm meant to be a sound practitioner if it's going to be this challenging to be able to play. And so I think I went on a lot of personal journey with, having something that I wanted to expand on, just as a business owner. I'm sure that maybe you've also gone through this too. And I have a majority of my friends are business owners, and which I've, made these relationships in the last couple of years now that have, started. I feel like the universe is starting to put things on my pathway to be like, no, you are meant to. You just need to experience this.
Stay on course.
Stay on course.
Yeah.
I think something that has been very profound is community and how much I love community. Yeah. And, I think working in the tech space and coming from the Bay Area, I didn't have too much of a community, and I didn't even know what that really looked like or how much that meant to me until I started becoming more well-loved within the Seattle community with my gifts of sound and energy work. And, that allowed me to blossom new relationships that felt really good to me, learn more about my own self, fall more deeper in love with my practice and my instruments. And it's been like such a wonderful journey. And I don't think I would be here, even just sitting on this call with you, if I didn't have my sound full babies and being able to have this offering that I love to give. I think something that I struggle with is, and I don't know if you've also struggled with this too, and maybe, I don't know if you've talked about this, which is, the energy exchange for when you're, giving, this energy offerings. I think when I was with my tech job, I didn't really worry too much about money when I was giving out or playing my sound instruments. I just was in love with having everyone experience sound. And so I'm learning this new level of business as a wellness practitioner and trying to also balance my own personal values and, my gifts and having boundaries around that, but also creating abundance with my gift, my gifts. I don't know how to explain it. It's like just having that good balance of everything. It's very hard. And so that's something I'm learning. But in terms of things that have come up for me, these are some of the things that have come up for me: love and community, but also business things too.
I love that you bring up the business part, because it is such a very fine line of like staying true to your integrity and your ethos.
Yeah.
But also not being completely blind to the fact that to keep going, you still have to make that fiscal growth.
Exactly.
It's like, and like when you said like the energy exchange though, is like people invest in things that they believe in and feel good at. And I think too, it's like the beautiful thing about the wellness industry, when you start to build your community, people are ride or dies and they find the things they love and they're really good at the referring. But the hard part is also the pressures of feeling like you kind of have to chip away of what your integrity is just to kind of make ends meet. But like as you know, it's like if you hang in there, it's like things always work out, because I think more people, it takes a really strong and grounded and a person that trusts themselves to stick to their ethos and integrity. And those are hard to come by. The people that just have enough faith to just like walk through the dirt and go through the grind. Yeah. Like with the universe sending you like entrepreneurs, like, no. We're going to surround you with people that are going to tell you not to give up on it. Like, this is your grind time, sweetheart. No.
Exactly. Yeah. It's funny because like the monetary piece isn't so much about like, okay, I need to pay all my bills. I think it's more so of just like and I speak about this all the time, and I do wish that maybe more sound practitioners talked about this, which is there is so much more effort and energy and time that goes into putting out a sound bath experience. So if you are a guest and you're attending a sound bath, just know that that person didn't just get there 5 minutes before you did and will pack up within 5 minutes after you leave. They probably got there an hour before and prepped for another 1 to 2 hours travel time, picking out which instruments from their collection that they're going to bring down, packing things very gently to bring it down to their car, unpacking it from their car, packing and unpacking it again into the studio or into the event space. Blessing the whole space. They probably did some meditation, yoga, whatever their grounding practices are earlier in that day, and then holding space for that good hour to 2 hours, however long that practitioner is with you, and then holding even more space probably after if you have questions and you want to bring up some thoughts. And then, packing everything up, putting it back in their car, driving back home or maybe to their next gig, and then unpacking things back, into their home. It's a lot of physical labor. Yeah. And it's a little bit more, and I love all of my yoga teachers and any other practitioners, but it's a lot more physical labor for sound. And so I think when I was first getting into this journey of, hosting sound experiences, the first 2 years, I just wanted to get myself out there playing. I actually didn't really care how much I was getting paid, or I was like, okay, yeah, we're going to do it here. I'm going to do it here, and I'm going to do it there, and wherever someone would be able to take me. And I truly didn't care at that time how much I was getting paid. But I think once I started adding more to my resume and to my portfolio, I was like, wow, this is like a lot of work on myself. And like, I really got to be taking care of myself a lot more energetically and physically. And so I think that's where, in terms of like the energy exchange, making sure that like I'm feeling good, what I'm receiving back, it's just, it's hard. I'm just like, I wish I could give this all away for free. But I also know that this does take a lot of time and energy myself to prep and hold space and to pack everything up, and then also to invest in the bowls and the instruments. They are not cheap. They are not cheap.
When I first learned how much those alchemy bowls were, and I have like, I used to play music, like I used to be a songwriter and play professionally. I had some really nice guitars, but I was just like, these reformers or these bowls, I would never ever anticipate that, but it makes sense because they're handmade and stuff, but unbelievable.
I held off for a very long time. I stuck with my frosted quartz bowls that, I think I got those from Etsy at the time, because I didn't know where else during COVID to get bowls from. And I didn't really know very many other sound practitioners in that way. And so, I saw one beautiful bowl, an alchemy bowl, and I was like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. And I was like, $3,000. I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to be doing this long term. I don't know if this is just going to be a hobby. And I was like, if I'm in this for a good 4 years, then I can start doing that. If I can stick this out for a good 4 to 5 years, I can start to invest in more and better instruments. And yeah.
And it paid off.
It did. Yeah.
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 Well, and I think too, now that sound is just becoming, there's so much more science behind it, which I think is so exciting. And I love seeing, I was in Dallas a couple of years ago and they had a whole sound exhibit. So they had this bowl of water and you can click the different frequencies and it showed the ripple effects that it would cause in the water and how it was different. And it was just things you just don't even think about. It's just, it's pretty amazing. But like going back, you said something when you said it took you a couple years to actually be able to find places to start to play. What did you do to finally get things to happen for you? Because I'm sure a lot of sound, especially with how saturated the market's kind of coming with sound baths. How did you get your foot in the door and start finding places to play or people that would host you?
Yeah, that's such a great question. Word of mouth.
Yeah.
There are some gigs that I took that I was just like, I'm not really energetically, I'm not feeling it, but I know this will be good for me foundationally just to get my foot in the door. Around the time that I was just like, I'm so depressed. Because I was in this space, the sinking space that I was going to give up on my sound meditation business and my offerings. I went to a yoga class by one of my favorite yoga teachers. Her name is Jasmine Roche. And, she is a Black yoga teacher. And so there's not very many teachers of color, especially here in Seattle. And so I went to her class and we had knew of each other. And I think we had met a couple of times. And so when she saw me, she was so excited. And I was so excited to see her. And she's like, how's everything going? And I just started breaking down. And I was like, I'm going through a really bad time. I'm going through these things personally. And I think I'm going to give up doing sound baths. Like, no one knows what they are here in Seattle. And, like, no one's giving me a chance. And, maybe this is just not for me. And she's like, no. She's like, there are no women of color who are sound practitioners here, and you cannot give up. And so she took me under her wing, and we did a couple of collaborative events together. And that got me so inspired and got me meeting a lot of different people that, I kind of just took off from there. And so, I give a lot of my flowers to her, but I also have gotten myself out into, different community events. So like, I love going to the art events here. I feel like Seattle has done a really great job of growing their community events here. I feel like it was kind of dead when I moved out here. I'm not trying to knock on it.
No, when I was first here, it was dead. And then I left because I was just like, and then now it's like, the reason why I came back is just because of all the creativity that's come back to life here.
It's really flowing back. I'm so happy about it. But, just kind of being more out in my community has allowed me to kind of spread more of myself in that way and getting to know people. And, there's now people that will come up to me and they're like, are you Tasha, the sound healer? Like my friend has gone to your sound bath, or I've gone to your sound bath 2 years ago. It really changed my life or whatnot. And, now when
cool.
Yeah. So now when I'm getting these referrals, I'll get emails, and I actually have to ask, like when I did something for Adidas and for Parachute Home, I was like, where did you get my name? Because I still consider myself almost kind of like on a smaller scale. And they're just like, other teachers. And some of these teachers I've never met before. I've never taken their class. They just knew of me. And so that's why I'm just like, when you had brought up that question about like, what's something that you've learned about yourself through these offerings, my value and my love and passion for community, like it really has changed my life in a lot of ways. And I did not have that in the Bay Area. I didn't even know what community meant until here. Yeah.
Which is so funny because like you find community in an environment that has a reputation of the Seattle phrase. And like you're coming from the Bay Area and it's sunnier. It's just the irony on that. It's just so fantastic.
I know. Yeah. I mean, the Seattle freeze was pretty hard for me the first year. I think what really broke it was getting a puppy, and I could not leave my house without someone being like, can I touch your dog? Can I pet your dog? Can I?
Yeah. People are not concerned about kids here. They're concerned about the dogs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I feel like I just startle everybody. Like I if I see I harassed you. I was like, she seems cool. We need to be friends.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, thank you. I'm so happy that we connected. You're such an amazing vibe, and like your
Oh,
whole
thank
aura.
you.
You're so wonderful. And like, you really do represent community inside and out.
Oh, thank
And
you.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
And you do it so
feelings
naturally.
mutual. Yeah,
Thank you.
it's so funny. I've met a lot of my friends online, and it's like one of
Mhm.
my friends, like one of my dear friends, Kelsey. She was like, "How did we become friends?" And then she was thinking about it. She's like, "You just kept inviting me to places," and then I was just like, "I guess we're friends now."
And it's so funny because it sounds kind of dangerous when, because I have actually a lot of internet friends that I've
Yeah,
met in person eventually, and people have asked like, how'd you meet that person? Online, on Facebook, on Instagram.
Instagram.
And people are just like, wow, you're really like, are you cautious? And I'm like, I mean, like, it's not like I'm just going out and like just making, maybe I kind of am, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I
Well,
can feel the energy from the person online.
yeah. Well, and two, it's like when people have like small businesses, it's a little safer, at least
Yeah.
I think so,
Yes.
because people are already presenting themselves in the world. They're already involved with other people.
Yeah.
So, but it's so like you talking about all of this stuff, the thing that keeps coming in the back of my head is when you booked that tarot reading with me.
Oh yeah, it
And
still
like,
resonates with me to this day. I hope you know.
and like, I love that things are just like now rolling into place.
Yeah.
Like, because like that's what you said, you're putting together a bunch of events
Yeah,
and
yeah.
getting your calendar set up. And
Yeah, it's I have some exciting things in the pipeline, and this is quite the contrast from the last couple of months, and I won't bring that into today's talk because I don't want to make this a therapy session.
oh, that's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, it's funny because your reading, if you guys have not had a reading from
Oh,
Missoni, she is so amazing, and I'm very
thank
picky about
you.
my tarot readers. But yeah, it's a lot of things are in bloom.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm also in bloom too in this new version of myself. Yeah.
Well, I love that. I really appreciate that you're sharing your story of like having like the trust within yourself, or even when you're doubting yourself, just like
Mm,
listening to people saying like, no, stay with it kind of thing.
yeah.
Because I don't think people talk about the hard part enough. Like the part where it
No.
seems like things are very like, oh my gosh, like nothing's happening. It's so stagnant. It's so still. Is this right? And like questioning
Yeah.
our passions and our desires because there's a lull. And
Yeah.
I really appreciate that you share that part, because I think it's just so important for people to hear that nothing is ever, and I'm sure some people hear this, but it doesn't always register because you just want things to have constant progression. But
Yeah.
even in the lull moments, I don't know if you've ever felt this way. It's like there's things that are always unearthed or revealed. So then when you start to have the momentum again, you're just a different practitioner. You're a different person in how you approach things with perspective and how you want to
Yeah.
share or give to other people, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I think it brings it back to what we were talking about is when you're still in those moments of like a sound bath, that's when so much comes up for you.
Yeah.
And we have a hard time wanting to be still and listen. But, that's where all the magic happens, even if it's a little uncomfy.
Yeah. Well, we're so conditioned. Like, just look at how much things are fed to us, like to the stimulus.
Yeah.
It's like that hustle. Like, you're not productive or you're not going to accomplish anything unless you're constantly running yourself into the ground. And so, like, there's this connotation of like stillness is unproductive, or you're not prioritizing your time management correctly, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, when you're still, you're allowing new creativity to come in. You're also allowing your body to repair, because like we're operating at such stressed rate, and our nervous system is usually in a fight or flight, because even if we
Yeah.
don't realize how stressed we are, there's so much overstimulus that's out in the world. We're constantly in this tension. And so just having that moment of having meditation, breath work, doing sound baths to just kind of reset everything, because we don't give ourselves the time or the space or the care to really
Yeah.
truly reset the system. So no wonder we're
Yeah.
getting sick too. No wonder we're constantly
Yeah.
making unclear decisions because we're operating in a high stressed space, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And even like the times of like quiet and peace, I think us humans, we have a hard time being okay with that. When I was at my tech job, I led a lot of one-on-ones, and I also mentored a lot of new managers, and when they were leading one-on-ones, they felt like they had to keep talking because it would be so uncomfortable when it was quiet. And I was like, that's when the beauty happens, is when you're not talking and you're allowing your direct report to open up, because I was like, someone eventually is going to talk, or even just giving enough space for when someone else is finishing their sentence before someone else responds. I had heard there's a study that it usually on average people give about I think it's less than 1 millisecond before they respond. They already have something that they want to say.
Wow.
Whilst the person is still talking. We have a hard time as humans being still, being quiet, and just allowing quiet to just permeate in the space. In my sound baths, I try to give about 2 to 3 minutes of no sound once the sound bath is done. So people can just integrate. And I can just already see when people are just in there, it's like they're ready to start moving, and I'm just like, oh, this is where the juiciness happens. You're letting those vibrations settle into the body. You're listening and just trying to come back of whoa, what just happened? And that is almost mental journaling. And we don't allow ourselves to do that.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't even realize that. That kind of makes sense. It's just the need to feel like you have to contribute to everything.
Yeah.
Or just to add more stimulus.
Yeah. This was years ago, but I actually did a sound bath for a friend. So this was during COVID, and I was brand new to sound baths, or at least hosting sound baths. And the moment that I was done, and I was like, okay, you can open your eyes. She was like, oh my God, okay. And she got her phone. She was like, okay, so I got to call this person. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, you have nowhere to be. The phone can wait. We're not technically done.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just we're so quick to want to do the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. We don't give our bodies and our brains enough rest.
The spaciousness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's funny. Last year, I have this really amazing friend of mine. She's a fantastic graphic designer, but she's hustle, total Virgo, quintessential Virgo. That's how we got along.
Yeah.
And I started doing these hikes because I was on a soul journey, and I would hike every morning, but then I called Sundays my Soulful Sundays, and I would just disappear into the woods all day long. And I'd bring my journal, and I'd bring a Polaroid camera because I'm normally a workaholic and I'm always working on something.
Yeah.
And that was my day of you can't work, you can't think about work. You're just going to write and download anything that's coming to you and just notice what's around you and just really savor how beautiful nature is, because you don't appreciate it enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the amount, it's so funny because when I look back at my journals and what my thoughts were when it first started, it was just the day-to-day kind of stuff, blah, blah, da, da, da. And then how it had evolved into just more philosophical things, or questions on things, or more creative ideas, or really hearing clearly what I feel pulled to do, or just how magical life really is. It is amazing how all of this stuff in the world actually just completely disconnects us to the essence of who we really are, because we're constantly just being fed this. This is who you are. This is how you are. And the spaciousness is where we find ourselves,
Exactly.
And a sound bath is a good way to start.
It really is. Sound. And I love that you brought up nature. All of this does not matter.
No.
When you're in nature, you're in a sound bath or somewhere where you're able to recenter your attention, even psychedelic medicine, it allows you to be whoa, I'm a speck on this earth. And all of this, getting your Amazon package, it's not here, or trying to get this email out, it really doesn't matter on the grand scheme of things. If anything, they're just distractions to what's really important. Yeah. And I love that you have soul journeys, and I love that you take time to be able to do that. And I wish everyone did that more.
I haven't done it.
Do that.
I know. I need to do it again. It was easier for me to do it last year because it was just, if I couldn't make it, normally I would go to Joshua Tree on Sundays.
Oh, yeah.
And because it was only 45 minutes away. But if I didn't have the time, there was this beautiful hike called the Art Smith Trail that's in the desert, and you can just like some people only get to a certain point, but I just keep going and disappear in the wilderness and find a place where no one's at, and just, it's probably not the safe thing to do, but
it's okay.
I felt very confident. So, but I've been told I'm very intimidating. So maybe I had that going for me and when I'm alone in the wilderness, but
you just have a lot of confidence in yourself and in your energy, and not your threshold for fear is just a little bit more.
I don't recommend it though. It's not a safe or smart thing to do.
Yeah,
to my astrology friends, I have a Sagittarius stellium. I think that says it all. So
you're like, I am a risk taker.
I'm a risk taker. I am mayhem and chaotic.
Yeah, but
it happens.
Do.
No, don't recommend it. Don't recommend. But I do recommend taking time alone in nature, or finding friends that are comfortable. Like that's the other thing, is finding people who are comfortable in that stillness. It's hard to find those people, because like what I was saying with my friend, when I would do these hikes, she's like, do you ever feel guilty? I was like, why? She's like, there's just so much to be done and you're not getting your work done. And I'm like, girl, no, this is your sign to like, go hike. But she's just like just so brilliant. She's like a true creative visionary. So she's just like always thinking of ideas and constantly needs input. But yeah.
Everyone's on their own journey on how they disconnect, and eventually people will find that. I hope.
I know. Or they won't, and it's fine, and they'll do amazing, beautiful, creative things. But I hope everyone has like a moment to have like their that whole spiritual rebirth, I guess you can say, or that soul rebirth, especially with that connection with nature. You know?
Yes. Yeah. Forest, is it called forest bathing? I think that's
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Go play in the woods, my friends. It's good for you.
It's good for you. It's grounding. Yes.
Well, Tasha, I don't know how this happened, but we've already been on for an hour.
Oh my gosh, I see that.
Like, I feel like I can just, it's so easy to just talk to you. Yeah, I know. I felt like we just started. So, is there anything else that you want to include with this podcast?
Honestly, I don't think so. Like, I'm so honored that I can be a guest on your podcast. I'm so excited for this podcast, first of all.
I'm honored to have you on. So
thank you. Thank you. Whoever's listening, hopefully one day we can connect somewhere in the world through sound, or maybe on another podcast episode. But yeah, Missoni, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. Feelings mutual.
Yeah.
Back to you. Yeah. Thank you. So where can people find you? And if they want to participate in your sound baths, where can they find you?
Yes. Yeah. So you can find me on Instagram. It's Tasha with 2 A's at the end, .Hampton. And I usually update my Instagram regularly on where you can find me month to month. And I have a residency at Flood Yoga, which is in Ballard, a neighborhood called Ballard in Seattle, where I host monthly sound baths. A majority of it is yoga and sound, but you can always find me doing something with sound over there. And aside from that, you'll find me around Seattle hosting about 4 to 5 sound bath experiences a month. So there's always a way to catch me. And yeah.
Perfect. Tasha, thank you so much. And I'll put all your information in the show notes, but thank you so much for being a part of this. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you too. Thank you.